Hello, gold friends. Jason here. Let's look at gold because it has been a pretty wild 24 hours. And our last video yesterday, I want to talk about what we were looking at that 1382 level and then what's happening now. Starting with the daily time frame, major recovery from that area of support that we talked about briefly on yesterday's video, 1382.562. We've had a rocket ship to the upside. And we got a couple of key levels here to look for on the daily time frame. One of these is going to be the daily resistance, 1439.318. And what we would love to see is for this to be a new lower high, our current high of 1436.120, and for the price to come back down and set up a daily equilibrium. So as long as our high remains below 1439.318, we're going to be looking for that daily EQ. Now let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame and talk about what has happened that has brought us to this situation. Actually, we're going to jump to the hourly because the hourly is where we were talking about this action happening yesterday. And we had said that we breached our area of support. This is a daily support at 1382.562. We just barely got under that. We saw an immediate rejection, and then we saw another support test that held. So that said to me, look, we do have area support here. We have the potential to change this whole turn of events and try and go for a 4-hour trend change. I also talked a little bit about that 4-hour trend, and I said anything under 1424, it's just going to be a lower high on that 4-hour time frame, which is going to have us looking for more long-term downside. We didn't get that. We got area support held. We got a great entry opportunity on that 1382 support level. And we saw the bulls just take a complete rocket ship to the upside, broke 1424, so our 4-hour trend change is indeed in effect. And hopefully this is going to be a low underneath 1439, which is going to allow for some daily consolidation to play into a daily equilibrium. So on the 4-hour time frame, our RSI is almost getting overbought, probably was at the point of our high, and is now pulling back slightly. Daily time frame just edging over back into overbought territory. We would love to see that come down and cool off and set up that nice longer term EQ. Let's go back to the hourly time frame, try to take a look at what happened and see what was the first clue. So there's two really. One was going to be that hourly support. The fact that we didn't break that level and just managed to stay above it is a clue itself, because we had 3 support tests, and even though we did get a breach, we didn't get any follow through. So that is your immediate signal. When you have a breach without major follow through, you need to be open to the idea that there is just not the momentum or the power there on the side of the bears to push through that breach and capitalize on that opportunity. When we had that happen with the 1400, it allowed for a small bounce. So sometimes you get a bounce, sometimes you get more. Today we got more. The second signal was going to be the break of that 1396. That gets their hourly trend change in effect. And basically, as soon as that happened, we can try and take a look at the smaller time frames to see how much volume came in on that break. But when we broke that, that's when things really started taking off. And then the eager bulls, who are obviously chomping at the bit here, managed to let things just slide right away. So let's go into the 2-minute time frame and see what that actually looks like. And if we got a big surge of volume right when that broke, because usually that's what happens. So here we are zoomed in on the 2-minute time frame. Here we are looking at that 1396 level. We come up, almost test it, reject, 2 big candles, follow us through, back test, and then she just takes right off. So that's the sort of thing we need to be watching for when you are trading this actively and you're watching it during regular market hours and you want to capitalize on those opportunities. You got to look to see what happens when you get these key levels and these key breaks, because as soon as you get that, the steam just piles right on. And we managed to get way overbought. Wow, that's pretty high. 86 RSI in the hourly time frame. So we do need some consolidation here. Daily resistance at 1439.318. I want to see these hourly bulls calm down. I want to stay inside this daily EQ, but if we breach 1439.318, let's look at our next resistance. Likely we're gonna have to go back to the weekly time frame to find anything, and I don't see anything until the high of this bounce. Let's call that 1488.018. Let's mark that in as a potential area of resistance. And what I'm doing here is I'm just looking at the weekly time frame and I'm saying, all right, we got a big drop here. We had volume climax on the weekly time frame. We bounced up, a little bit of a battle, but the highest possible place that the bulls were able to push on this attempt was 1488.018. So I suspect that that will be an area of resistance for us to be concerned about if we are able to break 1439.318. Should we not break that level, I will look for hourly consolidation and maybe have that follow through into a daily equilibrium. We'll see what happens and develops from that point on. But right now, hourly says we need to cool off. We need to have things calm down a little bit. And if we close any weaker than this 4-hour time frame is going to be giving us a reversal shooting star candlestick, in which case all we have to do is have another close above 1382.562 to have that 4-hour trend change go for the bulls. That will still allow for that daily EQ to play out. So let's go take a look. If we came down to this level, pull back up and tighten up like that, what does that look like on the daily? Hopefully this works. There you go. So you get that idea how we combine these time frames, and we're looking for that 4-hour cooling, coming down, setting that higher low, lower high, higher low, etc. And eventually we just get this nice, happy little shape that often results in explosive movement. And if we get that daily EQ and we get a nice continuation pattern, all eyes on 1488.081. Should that fail, our next support on the daily time frame, the one I'm going to be watching, 1319.999. That's it today. Thanks again for watching.